Hello, everybody. How's it going?
Okay, we're live. We're a couple minutes late here. Sorry about that, everyone. Thanks for joining us. Today is February 1st, 2023, Wednesday. And my name is John Gardner. This is my wife and law partner, Radlin Mendoza. And we are the immigration law firm, Gardner and Mendoza. And we come to you every Wednesday night from 8 o'clock to 9 o'clock to mostly answer your immigration questions. We know that you have questions and we have answers. Although I will warn you that the answers are not legal advice. What we do here is for informational and educational purposes only. It is not legal advice. And I also want to say hello real fast to our whole TikTok group out here. So we're coming to you with Facebook Live, and then we're also simulcasting with TikTok. So if you're on TikTok, welcome. Good to have you here. Get your questions loaded up. The TikTok questions usually get loaded up a lot faster, and there are a lot more of them. So if you are on TikTok, move fast, or if you can switch over to Facebook Live, that's actually preferable because then we can post your question for everyone to see.
Yes, absolutely. And we also are streaming on YouTube and Twitter as well. So good evening, everyone. Thank you for saying hello.
Yeah,
Hi,
we've got
Gemini.
several
Nice
people
to see
coming
you
in.
again. Gemini says she's made an appointment with me. Yay. See you soon then. And Alu Wasala, hopefully I'm pronouncing that correctly. Good evening to you too.
Yeah.
And Gemini's watching from Arizona.
Nice. You know, we did a Facebook Live, not in Arizona, but in New Mexico one time. That was fun.
Yes, yeah.
I remember we were sitting outside, and we thought it'd be really cool because in the background was the beautiful sunset and the mountain range and everything, and the Badlands. That's what it was in the far distance there. But as the sun was going down, it was just blazing hot. It was right on us, and we were dying. Do you remember this?
Yes, yeah, it was pretty funny.
And we have Belma joining us from California. That's cool. I love to see people from other places checking in. Our office is located in Virginia Beach, Virginia, which is on the east coast of the United States. But we have clients all over the country. We have clients all over the world. I mean, we are an immigration law firm, so
we have clients in Arizona.
We do have clients in Arizona. We have clients in California too. So yeah, it's really cool. Wherever you are, check in with us. I know that we can help you out. And I tell people every week that we're here to field your questions and get you some answers, even though it's not legal advice. But if you really do want to pursue your case more seriously, you really should make an appointment with our office for a consultation with one of our immigration lawyers.
It's usually me.
Usually Radlin. I promise you are absolutely worth it. It's $275 for a 1-hour consultation. The best money you'll ever spend, because your immigration case is very likely the most important thing that you're doing. And so I think you're worth $275 to make sure that you are on the right path, that you're starting down the right path. And if you decide that you want to just, get better sleep at night and not worry about it, and know going to bed every night that it's getting done correctly, then you can just hire us to do it. And then you don't have to worry about it anymore. All right.
Yes. Excuse me. Absolutely. And that's a good segue into the most recent review that we received on Google.
We get reviews all the time, but this one just came. What was yesterday?
It was today.
2
hours ago.
2 hours ago.
So it touched my heart, touched John's heart as well. This is from Elias, and I will read it to you guys. He says, after years of getting turned down by countless law firms, I am finally getting somewhere with my immigration case. I am finally able to be here in America without fear of being deported. So fear is a really big thing with the people that we help. Maybe it resonates with you too, that, gosh, I'm afraid. I'm even afraid to speak to an immigration attorney because I'm afraid of what they might say to me. I'm also very grateful for their payment plan. Thank you so much for the work you've done so far and for the work we have ahead. I am so grateful to have found you. That is really Sweet.
Mhm.
I love that.
Yeah,
and we don't
absolutely.
always read our reviews. You can check them out on Google, and you can Google Gardner Mendoza reviews, and,
Yeah.
and they will pop up. We have over 180.
Just to be clear, we read our reviews. We don't normally read them on Wednesday night when we come on.
We don't read them
but
on our
we
live.
absolutely read our reviews. Yes.
We do. We not only do we read them, but we share them via email to all of the people in our office. We celebrate who's the person where the client, the client's attorney. And we just, we have to stop and be grateful for the things that we can do for our clients and help them. So anyhow. All right, let us get to some questions.
Yeah,
and we already did
the disclaimer.
The disclaimer, yes.
We did.
That this is not legal advice. This is legal education, legal information.
Right.
As John mentioned earlier, you guys are asking 1-2 line questions, and it's hard to get the full facts and really what's going on in your case with just that little bit of information. So, all right. No further delays. Let's get started.
Oh, wait, one further delay.
Oh, okay. One further delay. Not a delay. It's just, we're just having fun.
Yeah,
we're just hanging out.
We're just letting all the questions load up here. The last delay is that almost always my mom and my nephew are watching. So Mama, Dan, good to see you. Assuming you're out there. Take care. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you for joining us. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Always the family. The family is always there for you.
That's right.
To support you
right.
On your Facebook live streams when no one else is. But you guys are all here, and we have tons of people on TikTok, which we are
here they come.
Very
they're coming in hot. So we
better
better start chatting and get to the questions.
Let's get to the questions. All right. Let's see here. Eleanor is greeting us from Cebu. Awesome. Let's see here. Yeah. Gemini is relating to the fear with parents. Okay, so Americon says, hello, I had my biometrics scanned last October 2022 and still no interview schedule yet. So I have some news. I don't even want to say that it's bad news or good news, right? Because it's just news. It may be bad to you, but it takes a while to get an interview scheduled, even after the biometrics. So I'm not sure when you filed your case, but you may not even have an interview. So that's the good news part of it, most likely. But things don't immediately happen right after the biometrics. So October, November, December, January, that was only 90 days ago or so. And it's February 1st now. And so hang on and try to be patient. I hate it when I have to say try to be patient because my clients are like, okay, you keep saying that. But processes are taking 3 to 4 times longer than they used to pre-COVID. So just hang on for the ride and try to just be calm and not think that every month goes by, there's something wrong with your case. There's nothing wrong with your case. It's just that USCIS is taking a really long time to process everything. So great question. October 2022 biometrics, you're still in good shape. I mean, if you said you got your biometrics in October of 2020, then I would be concerned, but that was just 90 days ago. So.
Oh yeah. And we were speaking about family. There's my Aunt Sue joining us.
Aunt Sue. Hi, Aunt Sue.
Such great family support.
Okay. You want to grab a question there? We'll do one and one.
Sure.
Back and forth.
So the question here says, hi, is it longer to process an adjustment of status if married to an LPR than a U.S. citizen?
So not necessarily. No. Should I elaborate? There's really nothing to elaborate. The answer is no. It does not. It does not take longer. If you file an I-130 standalone as a lawful permanent resident versus a U.S. citizen, then generally speaking, yes, it does take longer. But for an adjustment of status, no.
Right.
We would love to help you with that case.
Yeah, absolutely. Give us a call.
All right. Let's see here.
I did see that Gemini there wanted to know if we do cases in Canada as well.
Yeah,
it depends on whether you're talking about like somebody. If it's talking about Canadian immigration law, then no, that's a different situation. But if you're talking about somebody in Canada, absolutely.
Yeah.
All right.
As someone in Canada who needs U.S. immigration
Right,
help,
who's coming to the United States or needs help with U.S. immigration law. Oh, and look,
Aunt Jill.
There's my Aunt Jill joining us from South Florida.
Where are my family members? This is ridiculous.
They're coming.
Are they?
Yeah,
Maybe they don't comment.
Hi, Jill.
Hi, Aunt Jill. I shouldn't see all of your aunts and stuff, and then ask
right.
where mine are. But that is human nature, though, isn't it?
It is human nature.
I'm a human, so
absolutely.
I'm feeling the full range of human emotions.
All right. Okay.
All right. Let's see here. Shy, if I'm pronouncing that correctly, she says, "Oh, were you gonna grab a question over there?"
No, I was trying to piece a couple. There's a question here I'm trying to piece together, and it's confusing, and I'm trying to make sense of it.
Okay. Shy says, per USCIS, my daughter's case has been forwarded to NVC, but we have not received any letter from them. This information was given to us in 2016. So, Shai, what I would do is try to reach out to NVC and figure out what is going on. Because if this information was given to you in 2016, I mean, everything is done via email now. So if you had an old email address that you can check to see if you got any correspondence, then you can look into that, or you can call them. Well, actually not call. You can email them. And the other thing that may be going on here, and I don't know when you filed your case, but the visa may not be available at this time. So it might just be in a holding pattern because a visa is not available. So if you got this in 2016 that your I-130 petition was forwarded to the National Visa Center, then maybe a visa is not available yet. So those are the things that I would look into. If you need some help with that and your case is ready to move on to the National Visa Center and you believe that, we're happy to help you and look into it. All right. What do we have over there?
Okay, and you can look on. Jasmine says we skipped her question. I don't know if that was. I did not see a question from her, but
she's just like, you always skip my question.
Yeah, just. Yeah, Jasmine.
Well, I'll go back.
Oh, there it is. You know what? It is. It's right there.
Okay,
We
did grab skip one. It.
Okay, the question here that I was trying to piece together says, "Can I apply for a K3 or spousal U.S. visa? I'm divorced here, but under Muslim or Sharia law, Muslim divorce in the Philippines." And I'm not sure if I understand this question. So, but I wanted to take them in the order that they came in.
So, I mean, my understanding is that those are valid. Don't quote me on that, but those are valid divorces, even though divorce is not recognized in the Philippines. But what is the question? Can she apply for a K3?
Yeah, or some sort of spousal visa. I guess they're probably just trying to figure out whether they have any options.
So what I'm hearing is that this person is married, and let's just presume they're married to a U.S. citizen because they're asking about the K3, and that they want to know if their divorce is valid. Is that the question? And whether they can file
Muslim divorce in the Philippines, and whether
I would have to take a look at that. I do not that would be giving legal advice if I said, oh yeah, that's a valid divorce.
Mm-hmm.
We'd have to take a look at that and look at the documentation, because you may say, oh yes, my lawyer in the Philippines said this is a valid divorce, and we look at the documentation and it's not. So we would have to make that legal determination whether that is a valid divorce or not, in order to advise you as to whether or not we can pursue another way to immigrate, a way to immigrate to the United States based on marriage to a U.S. And I wouldn't pick the K3. That would be the last thing that I picked. But it also depends. It's fact specific. So Jasmine, here we go. Jasmine says, hi guys, I've asked the other day about 864p. I do remember that. I wrote it down. Remember, you're supposed to remind me. So I did it again. We were supposed to remind each other. I totally forgot to look into that, Jasmine. My apologies. I'm going to copy the question. And actually, what I'll do is I'll take a screenshot of it. The question is, can you not screenshot? Anyway, the question is, when is the affidavit? There you go. When are the income requirements going to go up? Are they going up in March of 2023? And yes, I do remember your question out. Like I said, my apologies. I'm not going to make you wait for another week for this answer. I can easily look this answer up after this live or tomorrow. So shoot me a message through Messenger and we will answer your question, Jasmine. Sorry about that. All right. Not only did we skip Jasmine's question, I forgot about her question from last week. But when we get done with lives, we party.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. It's
but that's no excuse for missing it.
It's a rager here after this.
Yes, it's a rager.
Okay. Brussels Sprouts 101 here wants to know what happens when you have not fully paid your 2021 tax and have filed an I-130 petition. So I'm assuming that I'm going to read into this a little bit.
Yeah.
When they say fully paid their 2021 tax, I'm assuming that he or she owed money, filed tax 2021, money, got paid all and an I-130, and they're wondering the trouble.
Gotcha. So the question, a free question, it was like we forgot to. Hopefully, you guys are hearing us. It's okay. It's okay. We forgot to plug a cat cable in the Wi-Fi, but it's like 1 or 2 bars. Anyway, behind this question is, what financial obligations the I-130 and I am filing the petition. So you don't have to have a job when you file the petition. It's just that at the very process, if you're doing consulting, again, this is on who you're petitioning for. It can be multiple before this is also, but the I-130 petition is then a visa center at that will then have to upload tax returns. And the question of have you paid all of your taxes, really, it's not a question that the question is, have you filed this? And so a payment plan with your taxes, then it's really not going to your ability to the affidavit of support that petition. Hopefully that helps. Go ahead and file the I-130 petition. And, if you're worried about it, you have 10 and a half months to pay those taxes, because that's how long the I-130 petition now is taking to approve for USCIS to approve.
All right. Grab a question there. I just want to say from someone saying hello from Texas. Hello.
We were just there, San Antonio.
We were just in San Antonio a couple of weeks ago for a legal conference, and it was great. Really enjoyed it.
If anyone knows about San Antonio, the Alamo history, we got a 1-hour guided tour for John's birthday. That's what he wanted for his B-Day. Talk about a rager.
Boy, it's really some interesting history. It's confusing history. Radlin and I are both pretty smart people, and even we kind of took different things away from it. So fascinating. I recommend that everybody get down to the Alamo and do a guided tour.
Yes, if you're there for a conference, definitely go do a guided tour. If you're there, Antonio, would you say go take a special trip to a documentary?
Depends on how much you're into the Alamo.
and Texas and
Texas
that history
and that particular part of U.S. history. Yes, and
we were so into it. We had a 1 hour guided tour.
they've been teasing me. That's what I wanted for my birthday. That's what I picked for my birthday.
John loves history. That's what you guys need to know that. All right.
Yeah. Our daughters were like, seriously? That's what you want to do?
Yep. They couldn't say anything either because it was his birthday. It was great. It was great. All right.
All right.
Jinx. So let me reintroduce ourselves, right?
Yeah.
So for people just joining, I'm Radlin Mendoza, and this is my law partner and husband, John Gardner. That is why we are sitting so close to one another. Don't be concerned. We are married. We have 3 children, we have a law firm that we started together in 2000. We are physically located on the East Coast of the United States in Virginia Beach, Virginia. And we in all 50 states and all around the world because we are an immigration firm.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
So it's great to be here tonight. It's great to be here every Wednesday night where we answer your immigration questions. We try to anyway, unless we even something up and then come back the next with the answer, but sometimes we forget that too.
And occasionally we just don't know. Sometimes we get really obscure questions and we just we have to figure them out later.
Or just things that we haven't, see. It's a case of first impression for us, which is
illegal.
I mean, in the big immigration law is a huge body of law. So that happens from time to time. Generally speaking, though, the questions that we get on our live stream, they are questions, and they're questions that can, when we have the answer to the questions, it can help everyone who's tuning in and who's also watching later. So it's great. Keep your questions coming. They're awesome. So I'm going to grab one here.
And some of them are similar. We get very similar questions.
Yeah, there are patterns.
They're definitely patterns. Okay.
All right. Arlene has a question here. All right. Sorry about that. Okay. Arlene, I just petitioned my parents last month. I know it will take a while if I will petition my 17-year-old sister, or if my mom will petition her. I know it will take a while as well because I just petitioned her. Yes. All those things are true. We can't leave her alone in the Philippines. I don't know which option to take, tourist visa or student visa. She has a medical condition when she was young. That's why we are afraid to leave her. So yes, that is a very common situation, Arlene, where you've petitioned for your and for those of you who don't know, U.S. citizens can petition for their parents, and parents are, I don't want to make it sound like they're just on a road that does not require them to wait for a visa to become available. Visas are always available for the parents of U.S. citizens. Visas are always available for the spouses and unmarried children under the age of 21 for U.S. citizens. Those are the only 3 categories. So visas are not always available for this. They're not available readily for siblings of U.S. citizens. And this is what Arlene is asking about. Okay, what about my 17-year-old sister? What's going to happen when my parents immigrate to the United States? And, this will probably be in a couple of years. What's going to happen to her? We can't leave her alone. So your question about whether to do a tourist visa or a student visa, a tourist visa is your sister is only going to be able to stay in the United States, typically for a period of 6 months at a time. So under this scenario, again, this is not legal advice. This is just information. And I am doing a little bit of analysis here, admittedly. But okay, I won't do it. Tourist visa, if granted, is only good. The stays are typically for 6 months at a time. If a person has a student visa, then they are able to stay in the United States so long as their I-20 gives them. So if the student is here for a 4-year degree, a bachelor's degree, then that I-20 is typically going to be for that 4-year period. So I will let Arlene decide which might be a better option for her under these facts and scenarios, because I don't want to do any analysis. John gave me a look. I could see it out of the corner of his eye. It's like, don't give legal advice. So Arlene, if you don't know this already, as soon as your parents immigrate to the United States, one of the things that they might think about doing is immediately filing a petition for your sister, because per the visa bulletin, a visa is going to become available faster than if you were to petition for your sister. Any legal advice there?
Nope.
Nope.
That's
only
all just-
legal information.
That's just information.
All right. I hope that answers your was an awesome question with a lot of multiple facets. And I almost got caught in the trap of just doing the case for you right on here on Facebook Live. But again, there are many things that I don't know about the scenario, but great question. Thank you very much for that. It's fun.
Yeah. And part of the reason that we can't give legal advice, I mean, part of it is that the Virginia State Bar, which is the licensing bar in our state here, does not allow it. Secondly,
unless you're a client.
Yeah. I mean, exactly. Secondly, we don't know a lot of the facts. I mean, again, these are little snippets. When you come in to see us and you schedule a consultation with our office, we are going to really drill down and make sure that we are looking at every single detail to make sure that there aren't hidden traps. Because we have a lot of folks that come to see us who have started out a case on their own, or they've started out their case with an attorney up in New York who does bankruptcy, tax, personal injury, immigration. In these cases, a lot of them get messed up. Started wrong. Things that people didn't know when they started the case, decisions that were made during the case. And then the first thing that we're trying to do is fix something that has already been messed up by somebody else or the person themselves. So, I mean, we understand people self-file, but I don't recommend it. That's advice. That's not legal advice. That's just my personal advice. Just like
that's fatherly advice.
That's right. Fatherly advice. If my daughter came to me and was involved with somebody, needed immigration help, then I would say, yeah, you need an immigration lawyer, of course. Okay.
All right. Like if they were in the UK or something, and they wanted to be a permanent resident of the UK.
Right.
You need to talk to an immigration lawyer in the UK. We wouldn't say, go look on the UK immigration website and download all the forms. Try to figure that out.
I wouldn't say, honey, just spend countless hours Googling everything every day. I would just say hire an immigration lawyer there and just do it.
Right. And then they might say, well, gosh, it's so much money. And then we would say, well, how much more money would it be if you waited and your case got delayed because you filed it yourself and you made some mistakes along the way? Everything's fine. But what if it took you twice as long to get that permanent residency and twice as long to get your work permit? So think about the whole year that you may have been able to work in the UK. Instead, you couldn't work. I like to look at an economic.
Or even worse, what if you made a mistake that now can't be fixed and it's a done deal and you can't walk back the error that you've made? So,
right.
I mean, it's just, you really should have a professional helping. I mean, yes, we're immigration lawyers and yes, that's how we make a living. So you might say, oh, of course you're going to recommend it. Yeah, I am absolutely going to recommend that you have a professional immigration attorney handle your immigration case so you can be sure to get it done right so that you can just rest and not worry about it and not spend countless hours trying to figure it all out.
Yeah. Is the lecture done?
The lecture is done.
Hey, a professional handles our taxes.
Yeah.
For example.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so here's a question. The next question up on TikTok here is wondering whether they should try to add a K3 along with the marriage petition. So they're doing a marriage case and wondering if they should layer something else with it.
Yeah, I mean, in order to answer that question, I would have to figure out. I mean, I have to see where that case is. I wouldn't layer a K3 on to an I-130 petition just because then you're in a K3 process. I mean, so I would need more information there, and that's not something that I would necessarily recommend, but maybe there are facts that support doing K3 instead of a straight immigrant visa petition via the I-130 petition. But no. I want to know why that question is being asked.
Yeah. Right.
Strategically, the K3 filing K3 can be used, but just as an initial filing, no. But it depends on every case is different.
Right. Okay, and we've got somebody here saying hello from Wisconsin. Hello.
Hi from Wisconsin.
Yeah, glad you're joining us from Wisconsin.
Didn't you almost go to law school in Wisconsin?
Not undergrad.
Okay.
Yeah, that was the only other school.
Is that the Badgers?
The only other school that I seriously considered. I went to the Ohio State University in Columbus, Ohio. Go Bucks! That's right. But I was Wisconsin was the other school that I was really interested in. It's a great school, Madison, wonderful place as well. I don't know if this person is. I mean, there's a lot of state. It's not just Wisconsin, but yeah, nice state.
I remember that. Remember that tidbit.
Yes.
So is it my turn?
Thank God I didn't go there though. Because if I had gone there, then I might not have gone to Seton Hall Law School for whatever reason. And if I hadn't gone to Seton Hall Law School, then I wouldn't have met you. So
I think you'd have met me.
You think so?
Yes. You would have come to
You're right. I would have found
Hampton Roads to come visit your great grandmother, and I would have been there.
I would have bumped into you at what's that? the chicken place.
Jollibee?
No, not Jollibee. There was no Jollibee back then.
There was no Jollibee. John and I ate at Jollibee. Who here knows what Jollibee is? Our Filipino viewers, our Filipino fans. Yeah, Jollibee. We had Jollibee.
Pollard's. That's the
Pollard's
I
chicken.
Think of it for a second.
Yes.
See, I wasn't born and raised here, so Pollard's temporarily escaped my memory.
Pollard's chicken.
All right. Oh, we have somebody joining us from Haiti as well. That's
awesome.
Cool. Interesting. Have not been to Haiti. I love people checking in from all over the world.
I know
it's so
awesome.
All over the country.
Yeah, thanks for saying hello and watching our live. So, guys, make sure that you follow us if you think this information is helpful and you'd like to get alerts. We do appear here every Wednesday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time and answer your immigration questions, and we have a lot of fun doing it. And I know that the questions that you ask help the other people who are listening in too. And I think it's cool. And we love that. All right, let's grab a question. Naor. Is that an A?
Mm-hmm.
An A? Okay.
Naor.
Nice picture.
Mm-hmm.
Lovely. How long can it take to get a U visa? A very long time. Are the chances good to get one or more a 50-50 shot? That is completely fact dependent.
I was going to, yeah.
Totally depends on the facts. Fact dependent on the U visa, fact specific. One of the things about the U visa, the very first thing you have to get is certification from law enforcement or a prosecutor. Here in Virginia, it's a Commonwealth attorney that the applicant was helpful in prosecution of the accused. So, if your case is really old, let's say you had a case from 20 years ago, it's not super likely that prosecutor is going to sign off on that. So it really, really, really is specific to the facts. But you reach out to us, we'll be happy to evaluate your case for U visa eligibility, but U visas do take a really long time. And when you're like, well, what's a really long time? Years, multiple years. All right. But it's a great way, it's a great benefit if you qualify, and it's there for a good reason, and it's there to help people, and we have a lot of U visa cases, right? Is that on there? Is the U visa case on there? All right.
Oh, we were looking at our
whiteboard.
Our master whiteboard in our office where we track everything. Okay. So we have another question. It's not the only place we track everything, by the way.
We just put the whiteboard up. It's massive.
We use a lot of software as well. I don't want you to think that, wow, they have all their cases on a whiteboard. No.
No, these are just the top 5 cases.
Yeah, just
the top 5 cases that we have. We completely rearranged our office. So if you've been here before, we're on the completely different side of the room, and it's fun. It's really different, and it's cool. It's very, very spacious now that we've taken the Peloton out. What else have we took out a desk? Dear. It's spacious, it's nice, and we're able to see
the whiteboard. Yeah. Okay.
Except there are lights in front of us, so we can't see them right now. All right.
All right. So the question over here, how many years can you get your green card after the adjustment of status?
Okay. After filing the adjustment of status. So
yeah, thank you. I was trying to kind of read.
Yeah. It depends on if it's employment based, and there's you're from one of the countries where it's oversubscribed. I mean, it can take many years to get it. But if we're talking about a family-based adjustment of status, I just looked it up in a couple of jurisdictions. It's about 17 to 22 to 24 months. I looked up 4 cities and states over the past week, and they're around that range. So anywhere from a year and a half to 2 years. All right.
I think Roselle was next up there.
Okay, thanks. Okay. Roselle says, good day. I would like to inquire about the spouse visa application. What if the U.S. citizen husband is already a senior citizen and know him? How can he apply and support for the spouse visa application for his wife? So very cute baby, Roselle. So as we mentioned earlier, if we're talking about the spouse visa application, also called the immigrant visa, we call it all kinds of things, consular processing. The very first part of a case like this is to file the I-130 petition. And the I-130 petition right now is taking 10 to 16 months. And so if your spouse, and here we have a senior citizen that does not have any income, file the I-130 petition and know that after that case is approved, your husband is going to have to get a joint sponsor in order to co-sign on your behalf. It's not called co-signing, it's called a joint sponsor, co-sponsor. So that joint sponsor will be able to sign an affidavit of support on your behalf. The joint sponsor has to be a U.S. citizen or a lawful permanent resident, and they have to make a certain threshold amount income, or show assets. It all is not lost if your husband is a senior citizen and has no income. I mean, one thing I would ask is, does he have any retirement income? Because retirement income can be used as well to show that he meets the requirements for the affidavit of support. So my thoughts are, try to find a joint sponsor. Meanwhile, go ahead and file that I-130 petition if you can, and get that ball rolling, because again, it takes such a long time. hopefully that helps, Rizal. We'll be happy to help you with that whole process. We do a lot of consular processing. Guys, consular processing for a spousal immigrant visa case taking a couple of years, and CP's up there for sure. For sure,
definitely on the whiteboard.
It's one of the main things that we do, but it's taken a couple of years. So when you engage with our law firm and you decide, okay, these are the right attorneys for me, or if you engage with any other law firm or you meet with any other attorneys, make sure you like them, right? It's not just, it's a relationship, and like is one of the factors that you should consider, and also that there's a plan for communication, and also that they have positive results and they've done cases like yours. So like is one of them, but I think it kind of goes hand in hand with the communication, which is one of the most important parts of representing our clients and just making sure that you all know what's going on in a case that could take 2, 3, 4, 5 years. I mean, I think did we decide that one of the longest cases was maybe like 13 years and still going. So it's a long relationship. It can be a long relationship. And I mean, even 2 years is a long time.
Right.
24 months is a long time. That's kind of the average right now, 20, 22, 24 months of an adjustment of status, consular processing, provisional waivers. There's just a class action lawsuit for provisional waivers. We do tons of provisional waivers. So imagine a provisional waiver, just that portion of a pretty long case went from 8 months to approvals to 3 years. So again, that's a long period of time, and you want to make sure that your attorneys and are communicating with you and that you actually like them.
I agree with that's really good advice. Absolutely.
All right. Is it your turn or my turn?
I think it's my turn.
Okay.
So the question here is, will you get deported if your alien card is expired for more than 10 years?
So 2 parts to this question. If you have well, let me just say this. If we're talking about a conditional card, a conditional resident card that has been expired for 10 years and that you never remove the conditions on your lawful permanent residency, this is something that could lead to removal proceedings, deportation proceedings. But if we're talking about a 10-year card that has expired, and that expired 10 years ago and you never bothered to renew it, the answer is no. I mean, you are supposed to have a lawful permanent resident card. There is a law that states that lawful permanent residents should carry or must carry their green card on them. But it's not something that will lead to deportation. What you need to do is just file a renewal. It's basically, it's similar, not exactly the same. It is if, I'm a U.S. citizen. I was born in the United States. If my passport expires, I am still a U.S. citizen of the United States, right? Just because that document that shows I'm a U.S. citizen expired does not take away my U.S. citizenship. So if it's just a matter of renewing your green card, you should do it. I think that it's wise for you to just go ahead and file the form, the I-90, to renew that. But if we're talking about conditional residence, that's a completely different ballgame. And either way, you should reach out to us. 757-464-9224, 757-464-9224. If you want to give us a call, and we'd be happy to help with that and sort it out.
Yeah, and you can, our information is there. Email info@gmlaw.net. You can send us a message through Messenger. And Radlin just gave you that phone number, 757-464-9224.
Yep.
All right.
Okay. Noah says, I am currently with your law firm. They're and very responsive.
Oh.
Thank you. And if someone came onto the comments and said, "Hey, I'm having trouble communicating with your law firm," we would definitely make sure that that got taken care of. That's rare, but people are human. We have great reviews on our review sites, and I think that our clients really like our attorneys and our team.
Yeah, for
because they are
sure.
awesome.
And I see Arlene here wants to know, says, thank you so much. Do you do online consultation and how much?
Great question.
The answer is yes. We do consultations. Radlin does consultations through Zoom. So wherever you are, you can absolutely join her through Zoom. And the consultation fee is $275 for a 1 hour Zoom consultation. Anything you want to add to that?
I would love to meet you, Arlene, and help guide you through your questions and petitioning for your family.
Okay.
All right. I think it's my turn, right?
Yeah.
Stacy, is that a graduation cap?
Yes, it is.
Cool. Congratulations. All right. Hello from Jamaica. John and I have been to Jamaica twice. I applied for a visitor's visa using my brother's address. However, he is saying that using him wouldn't be a good idea because he's a green card holder and his address is known for immigrants coming there and working illegally. Any advice?
When you say his address is known for immigrants coming there and working illegally, known by immigration and customs enforcement agents, or known by people around the neighborhood, or what? Yeah, what do you mean by that?
Yeah, I don't know. Really, we can't necessarily speak to this just because we don't have a lot of background information.
She says immigration. So
immigration. Oh, okay.
So maybe there have been some ICE raids there, or maybe ICE knocking around asking questions.
The question really is, if we have an immigration and customs enforcement issue with your brother's address, is that information going to be known to the consular office, the U.S. Embassy, who is granting that tourist visa, or even at the port of entry, if you get the tourist visa, or if you already have it at the port of entry, is that information going to be known? That's a good question. I don't know what the answer is to that. I mean, there's definitely a possibility of, I don't know.
Computers have made all of this more complicated.
I don't know the answer to that question. Should you put your brother's?
I mean, is that the only address you can use?
Yeah, that's a good point. Can we use a friend's address or someone else's address? But just if you can use another address, I think that maybe you should. And whether they have that information, it's unknown. I mean, sometimes.
Yeah, and I would still want to know a lot more about. I'm still, when you say known by immigration, there's just a lot. There's a lot here that we don't know, and I don't know. I hesitate even to go into this anymore without more information about that.
Right. But good luck with that. Be careful.
Yeah.
Maybe you wouldn't stay with your brother.
The address is a vineyard in Massachusetts. And I can see why you want to use that address. I mean, who doesn't want to go stay at a vineyard?
A vineyard in Massachusetts. That's his home address. Yeah. I don't know, Stacy. Hopefully you go in the summertime, though. It's way too cold now.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
Good one. Good question.
That's
Don't know the answer to it. Guys, this is an example we don't know the answer.
Yeah, don't know and don't really want to venture, I guess, at this one because of there's some
Yeah,
stuff
it's a lot.
swirling around here that we don't know and we don't need to get into. Okay. Switching back over here to TikTok. I filed an I-130 case in New York City in 2021, and I have documents that have been approved in 2022, but no interview date with a question mark. So I guess the question is, they must be concerned that the fact that the documents have been approved, but they haven't gotten an interview date, and they're wondering if that's normal. I'm reading into the question, of course.
Yeah. My question is, did you concurrently file? Did they say the petition?
Filed the I-130 in
Yeah.
New York City.
So my concern would be that you didn't concurrently file a green card application if the applicant is eligible for an I-45 to be concurrently filed with the I-130 petition. And if you just filed an I-130 standalone and the applicant is in the United States and eligible for adjustment of status, that I-130 is going to get kind of approved in a vacuum, but nothing is going to happen to it unless it's paired up with the green card application. So we can certainly help you sort that out and assist you with that. If you're talking about an I-130 for a person who is abroad, the I-130 is going to get approved first. Then it's going to get transferred to the National Visa Center. That takes a couple of months. At the National Visa Center, they will send you information to log into their system and pay the fee bills and upload all the documentation there so the case can get moving. And then finally, medical interview. So it depends on what you have going, and don't sit and wait and wonder, especially if you're eligible for adjustment of status. I mean, go file that. I mean, for anything, even national visa, anything that you've got going on here, like, no, you should figure it out. And that's why you're here, and that's why you asked the question.
That's right. And before you jump to that, VZ0408 wanted to know how important it is to get an actual police certificate. If you could follow up with that and let us know in reference to what, a police certificate for.
Yeah, probably for
going back
the
to
visa.
Going back to that U visa question, maybe, right?
Yeah. Maybe. I mean, a police certificate is required when you're doing immigrant visa processing. They want all the police certificates where you've lived for more than 6 months. So if that's what you're referring to, you need to get the police certificate when it's requested. So don't get it too early because it expires. All right. Tio says, is it advisable to travel to the Philippines with a travel permit and no green card? Still waiting for a pull of I-130 applicant to happen. So, Tio, some more things I would need to know here, whether it's advisable. I wouldn't advise you anyway about this on Facebook, or maybe not even during consultation, because your attorney. And so I don't want to advise, oh yeah, Tio, go ahead and go. Can you imagine if and it was a problem and you had an issue coming back? I can't advise you about whether it's advisable or not. There are many factors where I would say yes, and other factors where I would say no, you shouldn't travel. And it's way too fact specific, too important, much what's the word I'm looking for? Risk for throw out just willy-nilly carry, yes, travel, no, don't travel. I can't do that. I wouldn't. Okay.
Recommend. Okay. Over here on TIC, how many years green card holder petitions children above 21 years old? This person wants to know.
What country?
Wednesday. Uh-oh.
Make a guess.
Here she goes to the Bolton.
Did you make a
The
guess?
Visa Bolton is everyone.
All right, let me just look this up really quickly because this
I-
is our last question of the night. It's a Visa Bulletin question. Yay! Pulling up the Visa.
Yeah, I'm not. I don't know. There's nothing here that would give a clue because I can't see the picture.
What's the name? Let's make some wild guesses.
Just isn't a number. So
Okay. So the question was children over the age of 21 lawful permanent resident, correct?
Yep.
Okay.
wait a sec.
If you are from, here is a timekeeper. Hi, Rick. I know it's 9 o'clock. What? Time for dinner. All right.
Okay, hold on.
So hold on. We have one question out here. So if you are from Mexico or the Philippines, sorry, if the person petitioning for is born in Mexico or the Philippines, then it is taking, let me do the math here, 12 years for the Philippines. Let me do this matter. This is crazy. Right? Yeah, we did this 22, about 2 years for Mexico. Yes, that is correct. 20 years for Mexico, guys. Ridiculous. 12 years Philippines, not bad. All other countries, other than Mexico and the Philippines, it is taking about 8 years. So file the petition. Just file the petition. We can file the petition. It's the number one thing.
Yeah, that's great. But the time will pass either, so you should get it filed and then let the time start ticking. The sooner in the line, the sooner for approval. Real quick, Biscuit said I asked if we could ask questions. Yes, absolutely. You probably figured out listening to all the questions. And join us next Wednesday.
And we are lawyers.
At 8 o'clock. And you can get it right on at 8 o'clock, get your in early, and then you're sure of getting to it. And yes, IREAL 2015.
We are IREAL.
Yes.
Real.
We are.
Ray's not a lawyer though. Guys, thank you so much. We will be next Wednesday to your immigration questions. All the questions.
Yeah,
they were awesome. They helped people.
Yep. Your questions next week. You've got questions.
Thumbs up.
We've got answers. See everyone. We'll see you next week. All right. Take care.